Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the DTM Trophy season number 2. It's round number 3. And well, we are in for an absolute crackerjack of a race, that is for sure. As you can see on your screen, all of the drivers are now exiting the pits. They'll do their one lap before they head onto the grid. Then there'll be a formation lap, then a 30-minute time race plus 1 lap. How are we all doing in the chat? Let me know in the chat where you're from. Let me know who you're supporting today as well. I am watching the YouTube chat right now. So to prove that, David Michael, I can see you. I can see your name. But yes, absolutely, get yourselves involved in the chat. Let's have a bit of fun today. Race 1 and 2 at Monza were absolutely incredible. And well, it will prove to be exactly the same here as well. The times were super, super close. 4 different manufacturers were your top 4 in qualifying as well. Yeah, we're in for an absolute crackerjack of a race. That is for certain. So yeah, let's get it on. So championship leader then will be Will Tregurtha. He will start on pole position as well. So yeah, big day for the AMG driver. Of course, last season, Tim Heinemann won the championship with the AMG, and that seems to be a very strong car indeed. Although it didn't look like it had the outright pace at Monza, it certainly has come out of the blue this weekend, in qualifying especially. Definitely sandbagging in free practice, and that's going to give the drivers who are trying to indeed topple him off the top of the leaderboard something to think about at the very least as well. Mauron was super fast at the end of the year, Frank Danker, that's true, and he's super fast today as well. He's found a bit of form, so expecting to see that Audi up in and around it as well. So we've got Combi, who is supporting Moritz Lerner. Fabrizio's from Brazil, good to see you. Got Earl Brown from Thailand, nice. Watching from Maryland, lots of American fans. We love to see it. We do love to see it. So as you'll see, they will all park up now in their respective grid slots. Then we'll have some lovely graphics on the screen just to tell us who exactly is who. And then we are off for 30 minutes of racing. Oh, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a real good one. Good to see a KTM up the front there as well. As you can see, they're very fruity, colourful Audi just in behind him of Lucas Mauron as well. We've got BMW in a mix. We've got an AMG in a mix. It is just all sorts of cars here around a circuit that is going to be hugely populated by slipstreamers, that's for sure. They've got 3/4 of an oval or a ring to contend with. So yeah, it's going to prove to be a very, very interesting race. And I don't think we will know the real outlook or the picture of who's going to win until maybe even the final lap. I think this could be one of those races where it's going to be absolutely bananas, which is perfect for us all watching at home. Toronto, Canada, Formula Clip, nice. I live close to Leipzig. Nice. Not far away at all, sector. Malaysia as well. Philippines. Howard Green supporting Ben Green. You love to see it. Last season's junior champion. And that is the current DTM Trophy champion, Tim Heinemann. Different car, different color scheme, same race room logo on the side of the car. And can he put himself involved here? Can he get himself involved in a potential charge for a race victory? Didn't race in round 1 due to some politics. Did race in race number 2. Currently finds himself down in P6 in the championship after only 1 race. So there's Sophie Hoffman for Haider Motorsport in the Audi. Trying to get as much air into that car as possible. Very warm day today, very muggy day as well. So a little bit of cloud cover as well. And there's David Gerban, the number 18. Hella Pagid Racing 1. So he raced every single round last season. Sole Romanian in the championship. Nice little wave there. Confident looking Gerban. Good to see. So Gerban got faster and faster and faster as the season went on last season. Hasn't started particularly well out of the gates so far this season, but there is some potential there, that is for certain. So there's Patrick Mathiasen. Although it says Mike David Ortman on the side of the car. It's taken the place there of Mathiasen for the weekend. So apologies for the graphics there. There's Jörg Wiebahn. Looking pretty relaxed there. Just wants to get on. These drivers at this stage just want to get on with it. They're not here to mess around. Rachel, you're not Ben Green's mum. No. Stolschmidt. Philip Stolschmidt then. The next driver on our grid. Simone Riccitelli. I've seen a Simone Riccitelli fan in the chat already today. If you are, let us know. Get yourselves involved. So here we go then. All of the engineers, all of the pit crews are off the circuit. Now is where the important stuff happens. It's now time for some racing action. 2 minutes before we go green here. One full formation lap behind the pace car, and then we are off racing. This is going to be an absolute cracker for sure. So again, on YouTube right now, get involved in the chat. Let me know who you're here supporting. As we're on board then with Ben Green, last season's junior champion, looking to indeed take the full championship this season. Currently third in the championship. He's on 35 points. Michael Schrey is in second with 37. And then we've got William Tregertha, who is on 40 points out in the lead. Of course, that is without qualifying being added. Now, there we have it. So we've got Florian Janitz on the front row of the grid with Will Tregertha. There he is. Fist bumps. He's buzzing. He needs to work on his poses when he qualifies P1 though, that's for sure. But other than that, he's in a good spot. Debutant Florian Janitz for True Racing by Writer Engineering. He has looked quick all week. Are we going to see a KTM Expo on the top step of the rostrum? We're about to find out. Everyone's favourite Belgian then is in behind Tregertha in P3, Nico Verdonk, and we've got Ben Green just in behind them. Then Michael Schrey, and then opposite side of the grid is this season's champion, or last season's champion, should I say, Tim Heinemann. It's going to be good. So as we see, everybody disappears. They've got to get beyond that wall before we can get going. Oh, well, you say that, but they're going. The pace car's off. Pace car's winning the race. But here we go then. One full formation lap. And then they need to wait for the green lights to go off as they come back around here. 30 minutes of racing here at the Lausitzring. Last season, both races were absolutely incredible. We were on a different circuit there as well. We were on a different variant. This is much more about how powerful your car is in a straight line, which seems to be very even across the balance of performance. Wow, I am super, super excited for this one. As you can see them, Will Tregurtha in the number 85 in that AMG. Again, the AMG was so dominant last season. Is it going to be the same case this season? Here is your grid then. Will Tregurtha on P1, Florian Janitz in P2, Nico Verdonk and Ben Green are your second row, Schrey and Heinemann on your third row, Lerner and Lucas Mauron on your fourth row, Kreheimer and Jan Zimmer are your fourth row. Then we've got Christopher Rink and Stefan Cox, Uwe Haus and Chandler Hole, Simone Riccitelli, Philip Stolschmidt, Jörg Wiebahn and Mike David Ortmann, David Michal Gerban and Sophie Hoffman as your top 20 drivers. But here we go. Coming up towards the final couple of corners, and then it is go time for round 3 of the DTM Trophy. HSV boy, he is hedging his bets, isn't he? The Hamburg fan, for sure. All the Germans, supporting all the Germans. So just a couple of corners to go here then. You see weaving, trying to get as much heat into those tyres as possible. As we've seen through every practice session, every qualifying session, it takes 2 to 3 laps to really get these tyres up to a decent temperature. As they go through side by side, nearly a bit of a door bang in there at the start. Nearly. A little bit of door banging between Tregurtha there and Janitz. Well, is that a sign of things to come here, ladies and gentlemen? As we round the final corner, the pace car is going to come in. It is round number 3 of the 2021 DTM Trophy here at Lausitzring. As the pace car pulls through, then we're waiting for the green lights here. And when does Tregurtha go? 4 red lights at the top of your screen. We're about to go green light racing. Across the line they come. And it is green light racing here. And I tell you what, Nico Verdonk already trying to make it 3 wide here up towards turn number 1. Michael Schrey trying to find himself a little gap here. Tregurtha has been absolutely mugged off here. Into turn number 1 then. Nico Verdonk has the inside line. Janitz then is going to be hung out to dry surely here. And he does. Everyone's favourite Belgian takes the lead in this race from 3rd on the grid. What a start then for Nico Verdonk. He is absolutely loving life right now. But we still got the long run then down in towards what will be turn number 3. You can see that Janitz is just trying his absolute best here to not give up any space. And you can see already around the outside then Tregurtha is going to try and make this move back up to P2. So he's gone from P1 down to P4 and he's now gone down into what would be P2. So he's gained 2 positions, lost 3 all in 1 lap. Looks like Moritz Lerner's off the circuit there as well. And one of the BMWs as well. That might be Stolschmidt. And that is, well, that's a damaged car. That looks like suspension damage because the car was not turning at all. And yeah, Moritz Lerner has got a very sick-looking car as well, which is very, very unfortunate. We've got a replay here then. So you see all the cars coming through, what will be 3. Oh, that's very, very naughty there. I think that, was that Stolschmidt? So we'll have to have confirmation. There's 2 liveries that are very much the same. Michael Schrey, though, being a little bit further out in front. And yeah, that was a big, big contact there. No, it was actually Christopher Rink. So Christopher Rink then was involved with that, as we can see here. Oh dear, that is a puncture, is it not? That is a puncture there, and for the KTM Expo. And is that Kreheimer? Oh, that is not good at all. So the right rear, or just rubbing on the arch. Maybe there's some contact there. Still going pretty quickly, but that will not last very long at all. That's for sure. That will be a meatball flag, an orange dot flag for the damage, I would imagine. And the tyre still, yeah, still up to pressure, but that's just going to rub this whole race, and ultimately that is not going to be good. Although it does not come into the pit lane by the looks of things. No, all good. You'll see the smoke in the background here. The lead, though, is Nico Verdonk. What a start it has been for that young man. He takes the lead. Tregurtha then is in second as it stands. What a start. You can see the Heinemann then has dropped a position. He's down to P7, so he has dropped down a position. Michael Schrey, he's down, where is he, up to P4? Yes, he is. He's in P4 as it stands. Ben Green under a bit of pressure as well. So yeah, Janitz has dropped down to P3. Tregurtha just up in behind Verdonk. We've then got Schrey, Jan Zimmer, Ben Green, Heinemann in P7. And well, it was Christopher Rink, yeah. Christopher Rink for sure. And Moritz Lerner then have had that coming together. And for me, Rink was well at fault there. It's just going too fast into the braking zone. And unfortunately, it's cost both of them their race, ultimately. There's going to be a lot of Lerner fans out there not very happy with how that's gone. That's for sure. So as we're on lap number 2 now, you can see that Heinemann is very, very close indeed. Heinemann is not letting the drivers in front of him go. As we're on board here with Lucas Mauron, he's dropped right down the order, hasn't he? P10 now for him, down behind Simone Riccitelli, Theo Uverhaus as well. So he's got 2 BMWs just up in front of him. Heinemann in 7th position, just a little bit further up ahead then is Ben Green. He's in 6th spot, so he's dropped 2 positions. And oh, that's on the track here. That is on the circuit. So that might potentially be a safety car here. So that is Christopher Rink, who has got damage to the front of his car. We saw that he had a very wobbly wheel because he had such a big impact with Moritz Lerner. So Lerner's out of this race, and now so is Christopher Rink. So we come around the final corner here then. Tregertha, who had a terrible start, is now making his way back up. So he's gone down to 4th, back up to 2nd, and now he's going to look to potentially make a move for the lead of this race. You can see the Mauron there, just not able to keep the car tucked in nicely around the final corner, and that might affect him in terms of getting that slipstream down in towards what would be turn 1. Turn 1 is very quick indeed. Oh, and there's a nice bit of defense there. That is a beautiful bit of defense, to be fair, there by Uverhaus. Lucas Mauron was looking for a nibble up the inside. Not quite going to work out for him, and I think this might be a race-long battle. As you can see, though, just in behind Mauron is Riccitelli, and Riccitelli is very close indeed. Mauron then is going to try and make a move at the inside. We can cut straight back to the leaders here. Nico Verdonk doing a stellar job here. And big old cut there by Tregertha, kicking up a load of dust. As you can see, that is not the preferred line. Lucas Mauron then is going to try and hold on to this position, that's for sure. He's made a mistake here, and you can see he made a mistake through this section of corners. Through the first bit, it ultimately completely scuffs you for the rest of it. And that's a squeeze off the circuit then to Mauron. So Mauron's trying to hold on to the position here, and ultimately he's just been squeezed off the circuit. I'm sure the stewards will be having a look at that. That is for certain not ideal. Not ideal for sure. So as we look at the leaders once again then, it is still Nico Verdonk versus Tregertha, and actually the whole group of cars behind have not really been able to, they've not been dropped. That's the main factor here. They've not been dropped at all. So this is really good for them, and if these two start going side by side, start battling for position, they're only going to lose time. So really, if Tregertha wants to get this done, he needs to get it done on the long straight, of course, so he can lose minimum time. He's right underneath that rear wing then of that Toyota. And can he potentially make the move here? You've got that Expo then of Janitz. He wants to be a little bit closer, really, if he wants to try and make any inroads himself here. You can see Verdonk then just dropping a little bit lower, trying to break the toe, but ultimately realizes that, you know, Tregertha's just far too close here to even be worrying about that. So he's just going to try and take the best line he possibly can. And then we go through the left-hander here again. Looks like a few cars are just struggling to keep grip through there, flat out. And you see Tregertha is not one of those drivers here. Very much in control of that car, isn't he? As we come then down into what would be turn number 3. Tregertha is going to open it up by going a little bit wider here. You can see that Nico Verdonk then is going to hold that tight line. And Tregertha, has he got an overlap here to work with? He has not. Nico Verdonk there very cleverly defends that position. But again, the only real winner in this situation is Janitz. So Janitz now closing that gap into P3. Michael Stray still in P4. He'll be looking for some action for sure. Ben Green now back up to P5, so he's gained another spot here. Jan Zimmer is in P6. We've got Heinemann 7th. Uverhaus then is in 8th position. And oh dear, the damage of that KTM Expo was unfortunately a little bit too much then for Heinemann, and that will be race over. Yeah, furious. You can just tell. Absolutely furious there. And we didn't really see exactly what had happened here, but there was definite contact. But let's have a look at the start once again here then of this 30-minute race, and you can see that Tregertha just did not react well at all here. Look at Michael Stray trying to make it 3 wide between that Supra and indeed the AMG. He backs out in the end. Tregertha then, he momentarily went down to P4, but he was ultimately in P3 for the most part. I'm very interested to see how Lerner ended up from that position. Well, I guess we saw, didn't we? We saw the contact between the two drivers, actually, between him and Rink. So as you can see here, coming up towards that harsh braking zone, and we're going to see the contact between the two drivers. And it's just, it's just pretty amateur hour, to be completely honest. Just very, very late on the brakes. I'm wondering whether he might have taken a little tap from behind from somebody else, maybe. You can see there, Heinemann's got the damage to the right rear of that Expo as well. Again, we didn't quite see where that contact happened. There's Lerner. Lerner has obviously got some serious damage to the car. But this is what has caused the retirement here. You can see that the car was rubbing on the archway. Tregertha there flashing his lights just to say, hi, yeah, I'm behind you. I'm going to be honest with you there, Will. Verdonk will definitely know you're behind him. You'll see a big Mercedes badge in his rear view mirror. Has done for a few laps now. But again, Janet's starting to maybe close in just ever so slightly. 1 second now behind. It was up to 1.7 seconds at one point. We've then got Michael Schrey and Ben Green, then two BMW drivers battling in what will be fourth and fifth. And they need to be a bit clever about this. Don't want to lose too much time, and maybe they can work together to try and close up to the leaders once again. Nico Verdonk, though, doing a stellar job as it stands. 22 minutes left of this race to go. Janet's, this is where the KTM is going to be so strong through these corners. It'll cut through here like a knife through butter, that's for sure. And now you can see the front three have closed up significantly. So, yeah, Janet's has found some serious pace here. And if he can get a bit of toe from these two in front, again, the power disadvantage, because the Expo is not really ultimately the fastest car in a straight line. It is just very nimble. If he can get a little bit of helping hand by having a hole punched in the air by both of these drivers, he will absolutely take that all day long. So the front three then battling for position. We can see here that Schrey and Green probably costing each other a bit of time. We've then got Jan Zimmer and Heinemann battling for position as well. Heinemann in the Aston Martin, the sole Aston Martin on the grid. You can see he's just making a move up the inside through the final corner, and I feel like he might have to tuck back in as we go on board then with Schrey. Schrey currently second in this championship as well. Nonetheless, he is second behind Tregurtha. The gap only 3 points. So Tregurtha with an opportunity here to indeed extend that lead. We look at Nico Verdonk, and Nico Verdonk's only on 12 points as we've got Maron then very close then to Riccitelli. Riccitelli trying to find a little overlap on the inside. Maron defends it. He had the perfect call there that he was clear for sure. As Nico Verdonk there just gets a little bit sideways into his braking, which will be very good for Will Tregurtha's mindset. He'll be like, oh, okay, it's maybe starting to struggle with the rears of his car. And ultimately, I feel like, again, this is going to be a race-long battle. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant stuff. So through the final few corners again. This is again where Janet's, the Austrian, will start to close in. Ben Green still right underneath the rear wing of his fellow BMW driver, Michael Schrey. They're not playing it that cleverly, obviously, because they are losing time now to this front three. So the chance of winning this race may be going out the window here. But again, if Ben Green feels like he's a lot quicker than Schrey, he's not going to be hanging around as he's going to be trying to make the move. That's for sure. You see Heinemann then stuck behind Zimmer as well. Uverhaus starting to maybe close in ever so slightly. Chandler Hole's very close to Riccitelli, actually. So Chandler Hole started 14th on the grid today. Is already up to P10, so he's having a very good race. And Chandler Hole is going to be one of those drivers I think you'll see at the end of the season and go, wow, he is so much faster than he was at the start. He's already showing no signs of improvement. Nico Verdonk gets a very good exit out of the final corner here, which means he's just extended enough here to not be under pressure down in towards what will be turn number one. But again, it's a long run towards the first real braking zone. You can see there, Heinemann trying to make a move, gets covered off nicely. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, there's contact here then. That is Lucas Maron, who is now a hood ornament. Yeah, he is now a hood ornament of Chandler Hole. I was saying Chandler Hole was doing well, but he's not so much anymore, and I'm wondering whether he's going to be able to, he's not going to be able to reverse out onto track here, that's for sure. He's got to wait for everyone to go past, but this might be a safety car here, and that is going to be a lot of rubber on the circuit on the outside, but you can see it's actually almost on fire, the rubber, and no, they are going to be stuck there. This is going to be a safety car for sure, and well, very interesting to see how this goes down. There's a green flag being waved by one of the marshals there. Yep, definitely the wrong colour. Chandler Hole then is going to back out here. Yeah, safety car is out. He is going to back out, and he should be, well, the turner circle on these cars isn't great. He nearly gives them a tag here. So here we go. So we're going to see the potential move being made here. You see they're almost touching. Oh, a little bit of a bumper banging, that's for sure. And Maron just moves over. So here we go. Maron's on the inside. Does he chop up? He must do. Oh, Chandler Hole just moves down ever so slightly. We'd need to see that again from a better angle. But it looks like Chandler Hole may... Here we go. This is a really good angle, actually. Does Chandler Hole just move down slightly? No, Maron's cut across and, wow, yeah. 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. It's just really scrappy from both drivers there, in my opinion. But yeah, for me, they're both at fault there. Maron's gone right up and closed Chandler Hole onto the wall, which he does have every right to do. Oh no, Maron moved completely up. So Maron did move completely up there. Chandler Hole didn't really have anywhere to go. So actually, from that angle, again, it's up to everyone's interpretation at this point. But ultimately, there's plenty of room there. There's about 17 lanes for them to work with. And they just decided against working with those 17 lanes. But ultimately, Lucas Maron is going to be out of this race. Chandler Hull will get back involved, but he'll be right at the back. And a very disappointing Saturday for both drivers. See a lot of you in the chat there giving your opinions. That's the beauty of motorsport, isn't it? It's the beauty of any sport, really. The difference of opinion. But yeah, I think I have to agree with the most part here. Both drivers there. Like, I don't think you can put it down to as a racing incident, because both drivers are properly at fault. So both drivers will need a stern talking to for sure. He gives a wave to the crowd. He's bound to be a little bit angry about it. But yeah, just a little bit scrappy. It's early in the season as well. You want to just make sure you get points, both in potential point scoring positions, and that's a very damaged car. Whether they're going to be able to get that fixed, they're magicians. Mauron's pit crew and engineers are magicians, by the way. We've seen this car on fire last season, and he still managed to make a race on a Sunday. So, yeah, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't make the race tomorrow, but ultimately he's not going to be the best preparation anyhow. So welcome to the stream, guys. If you're watching on YouTube right now, get yourself involved. Let me know where you're watching from. I can see all of your comments. If you've got any questions, then absolutely get yourself involved with a question. If you're going to ask me when's Alex Albon racing, you will duly be ignored. He's already raced today. He's done and dusted. He'll be racing again tomorrow. This is the DTM Trophy, not DTM. But yeah, welcome. We've got a safety car right now, JH, safety car. So we just had a contact between two drivers. We had contact between Chandler Hull and Lucas Mauron, and they ended up going sideways down the straight. Oh, yeah, that's the first squeeze we saw earlier. But again, for me, Mauron's tried to be greedy on his rejoin and try and gain too much time. Oh, it's just, yeah, the more you look at that, the more silly it is. Yeah, I wonder if Tim might have got the move done here, you know. Tim Heinemann in the Aston Martin has actually dropped a position here. He dropped in behind Stefan Cox. You see Stefan Cox gets on the brakes, realizes there's something bad going on. Heinemann trying to make the move there. So we've got some Brazilians here. We've got watching from Texas, USA, Egypt, Portugal, Belgium, Switzerland. Nice. Canada, nice. Spain, India, Brazil. So yeah, very unfortunate there. I think, yeah, Chandler Hull, unfortunately, is no longer in this race. Neither is Lucas Mauron. We've got 14 minutes remaining in this race. It's going to become even more of a sprint than it already was. But it means everyone's going to be close up again. So the biggest winner really here is going to be Janets. Janets in P3, who is indeed in the KTM. Expo / crossbow, whatever you want to call it. The clock does not stop during safety car, XC. No, it does not. So the safety car will indeed, yeah, the time you can see in the top of your screen there, the timer is going down. So that will not be reset. The only time that ever stops is if we have a red flag. Hopefully that helps you. So safety car, yellow's being waved. So we're just waiting for that Audi to indeed be pulled off the circuit. A little bit of debris taken off as well. A couple of souvenirs there, for sure. Put them in a frame when we get home. Oh, I'll just chuck it on the floor. Whatever tickles your fancy. Marshall's doing a stellar job, as per usual. Best marshals in the world. We've got a Mercedes towing the Audi, the number 8 Mercedes. I love that the tow car's got a race number. That's brilliant. So we're on lap 9 as it stands, and that is, oh, yeah, the more you look at that, the more damage the car seems to have. Every time you look at this car, there's something else that's got damage, so yeah, not ideal. LES. Top 10 score points, correct. There is no mandatory pit stop in this, Bob. It is just a flat-out sprint race. 2 races of 30 minutes each day of the weekend. So we've got a 30-minute race tomorrow. Oh, run. Here we go. I tell you what, you're going to be sweating profusely after this. Fair play. Wow. I know the Olympics is on, but this man should be in the team. I'm assuming he's from Germany. Should be in the sprint team. Off to Tokyo he goes. He'll be racing tomorrow. Be telling all his friends how he qualified by running the 100 meters at the Lausitzring. What a time to be alive. There are points in qualifying, Toto. Yes, you get indeed 3 points for qualifying pole, 2 points for second, and 1 point for first. So from the Lausitzring to Tokyo, the Marshal went. He is the German Usain Bolt. Here we go then. So the cars are coming. They've had to go through the pits, you see, because there was some parts of cars all over the start-finish straight, which is not ideal. Now, by the looks of things, Super Marshal has managed to sort that out. Safety cars coming in. Here we go. That's what we're here for. Race time. Love a replay of a Marshal going quick. That's made my day. Absolutely made my day. How you doing, Badger Man? Hope you're well. So here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. It is lap 10. 10 minutes, 30 seconds to go. And well, it is still the lead then for everybody's favorite Belgian, Nico Verdonk. Oh, ice cream. I love an ice cream. Not going to lie. Some would say I like ice cream a little bit too much, and they would be correct. Tregertha then is in P2. Janitz then is in P3. Oh, he likes ice cream a lot. He's got 2. But you can't argue with his diet because he is in great shape as well. Fair play. Verdonk leads. Tregertha is in second. Janitz is in third then. Michael Schrey in fourth. We have then got Ben Green in fifth. Zimmer is in 6th position. We've got Heinemann in 7th, Uverhaus in 8th, Riccitelli in 9th. So, yeah, good stuff so far. And, of course, rounding out your top 10, then we've got Ortmann as well. So Mike David Ortmann in the Aston Martin, who actually says it was Ortmann who got past Cox earlier. And I'm wondering whether they might make him give that position back, because that was done as the incident was happening. Anyway, here we go. Drag race. Is Tregertha going to be able to indeed get the jump here? Although it is now up to Nico Verdonk when he decides to go. Round the final corner we come then, and it's now up to Nico Verdonk when he goes. You probably wait to as late as possible here because it naturally the slipstreaming here. Oh, that's naughty. You can't do that. Can't go and then not go. Tregertha though is doing his best. He's actually got his nose just up ahead here. So Nico's got to decide to go. I'm wondering, he might be penalised for that, you know. So we're heading up then towards the start-finish line. Again, it's up to Nico Verdonk on the right-hand side to indeed decide when to go once the green lights have hit. And here we go then. So we are green light racing. Nico Verdonk's got an absolute flyer of a start here. Look at Janitz. Janitz then right up in behind. And as you can see here, it's 4 wide going in towards turn number 1. And wow, Tregertha, once again, that car just cannot get off the line well. Cannot start well here, and he might end up being down into what will be P6. Ben Green has made a hell of a run here. He's up to P2. Fantastic driving then from him. Wow, what a start it is. Uverhaus is up to P3, or he was. I don't think he is anymore. No, he's not. And as you can see here, Nico Verdonk then under a lot of pressure as he comes through what will be turn number 3. Does lead this race, but the big loser then is championship leader Tregertha. So Tregertha, is he behind Schrey now? That's the big question. Is he behind Schrey? Michael Schrey is currently, oh, he's P5. But yeah, so Michael Schrey's ahead now. And that's huge for the championship here. Michael Schreyer is currently second in this championship, so any position he can gain on Tregurtha makes this very, very interesting indeed. Although I think, no, Tregurtha's already back ahead. And oh, that's Tim Heinemann then, current champion, off into the gravel here. Gravel will be quite highly compacted here because of the heat. So it won't be acting like the normal gravel that you would find. Although, as you can see there, Gerban trying to prove my point wrong there. And, well, you can see that Heinemann's just found his own little route. He's got off the gravel. He will be able to get going again. But that is the long route around this circuit. And unfortunately, someone who's 6th in the championship order is not having a good day. 6 minutes, 56 seconds to go as Heinemann takes to a bit of rallycross. And, well, we head then back to the lead cars. Incident involving car 13 and hashtag is under investigation. Okie dokie. Thank you for that. Involving car number 1, Heinemann, under investigation. Okay. So there's lots of investigations going down. It's like Miss Marple. Looks like there might be a move being made here by V-Bahn. Is V-Bahn making a move down the inside here? On Michael Schreyer. Again, Schreyer needing to hold on to as many positions as he possibly can. He'll see that Tregurtha is making his way forward in this race. Restarts, that AMG is just struggling. I'm wondering if it is maybe just the driver's reactions. But now you can see we've had a battle for the lead between Tregurtha and Nico Verdonk this entirety of the race. And now we've got the very same battle between him and Ben Green. Ben Green, of course, he only won 1 race last season. He's already won a race this season. And, well, he's going to be looking to try and get another race win under his belt. And Ben Green is currently 3rd in this championship, only 5 points off the leader Tregurtha. So as it stands, Ben Green, I think it's tied. Yeah, it'll be tied between the two, but with the qualifying result, Tregurtha will still be in the lead of the championship. If Ben Green can get to the lead of this race, he would take the championship lead. So, yeah, huge result for Ben Green right now. Nico Verdonk, though, well, he's defended valiantly for the entirety of this race so far. I'm expecting to see the very same from him over the next, what will be maybe 4 laps, I would say. Maybe 4 laps to go. 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go. And as you can see here, Uverhaus is, well, just being overtaken by Tregurtha. Tregurtha is, well, just destroying everybody at this stage now in terms of his overtaking, but he doesn't need to be in this position. Needs to work on those restarts, and he could be looking to put pressure on the leader of the race. You can see he's gone for the old switchback, or as Crofty would say, the old swapperoo, because, yeah. Tregurtha then has to just sit back in behind once again. So again, that AMG just seems a little bit nimble, doesn't it? Very nimble through the corners. You can see here that Zimmer's gone, now I'm breaking the slipstream, and Tregurtha's like, yeah, okay, cool. I'll just sit up here, that's fine. Not too worried about it. It's all good in the hood for me. As you can see, just down the bottom here, we've got some BMWs back. Actually, it's Lerner. So Lerner's back out on circuit then. So Moritz Lerner in P12 now. So good stuff from him, even though he had that contact at the start of this race. Again, I'm sure that will be investigated. You see the Tregurtha there. It's got a very nice overlap here. He's going to have to go around the long way. And I tell you what, Zimmer could have made that very, very difficult indeed. He didn't. Oh, he's completely missed his braking point. So Zimmer's going to go say, thank you very much, I'll have that position back. And now Uverhaus is going to want that as well. Uverhaus has got the slipstream then off the fellow BMW driver. And actually, he's going to go now for a fake here. Who's that? Janitz is in behind. So Janitz then, again, around the best part of the circuit for that car specifically, the KTM, has dropped off considerably here as well. Ben Green, by the way, 2/10 behind the race leader. Only 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go here, ladies and gentlemen. And, well, we are in for a bit of a grandstand finish here. Ben Green there just trying to get into the head of everybody's favourite Belgian. Doesn't quite work out. Nico Verdonk is just like, yeah, that's cool, that's fine. You can do that. I'm just going to take the best line through the corners, and I'm going to worry about and focus on me going forward, which is the best way. Best form of defence is attack, for sure. So as we come up towards the final couple of corners here, we've only got 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go. Who is going to get the win here? Instant start-finish rate between cars 33 and 35 is under investigation. Thank you. That was pretty obvious that was going to be the case. I'm sure we can all agree on that one. That was going to happen, and it duly has happened. So Ortmann then in the Aston Martin is now the lead Aston Martin. So I don't know why I said that Heinemann is the sole Aston Martin in this championship. There's 2 of them. There's 2 cars. And you see that Janitz then is very, very close here behind. He's actually dropped down into 7th position by the looks of things. You see Tregurtha still not able to get anywhere near Zimmer in terms of making that overtake. So he's got the overlap once again, and Zimmer's just going to hold that tight line. Doesn't need to be doing anything too special at this stage. I think he realizes that that AMG is just not that quick in a straight line, so if he can just get out of the final corner in the lead here, he should be okay. But Tregurtha, he wants that podium. He wants to get that 3 out of 3 podiums, and as it stands, I think, yeah, if he doesn't get on the podium, that means that there's been a different podium driver on every single race so far. So 2 minutes to go in this race. So we're going to be looking at maybe 2 laps remaining of this race now, as there's a move then being made by Overhaus. So not only is Tregurtha looking to go forward here, he's got to defend, and Overhaus then is not quite going to be able to get the job done here. But Tregurtha may be starting to struggle with those tyres. And we did see that. We saw that last season, where the tyres, you know, maybe 5-10 minutes to go, they did start to go off. But because we've had a safety car, of course, it means it's going to be a little bit later. But anyway, we've just started the second to last lap. There'll be 2 laps remaining here then. And while can Tregurtha potentially get up into the lead of this race? As it stands then, it is Nico Verdonk in the Toyota in P1. Ben Green in P2, last season's junior champion, already won a race this season as well. As you can see here, that's a brilliant move there actually by Moritz Lerner. So Lerner's now moved up to 9th position, and the recovery drive has gone very, very well for him indeed. We've got Jan Zimmer then, who is in 3rd position. Tregurtha is in 4th spot, and Tregurtha trying to make that move for 3rd position again, trying to get that overlap through turn number 3. In a way, he's forced Jan Zimmer to be wide here. Can he hang it around the outside? I think he can this time. Oh, it's brilliant. He set him up there 3 times in a row, and you think that Zimmer might be able to learn his lesson from it, but ultimately the pressure has just been a little bit too much there, and Tregurtha does move himself then into a podium position. But look who's in behind. They've got Theo Overhaus, and then they've got, of course, right in behind them then Janitz as well, Michael Schrey. So this is not over here at all. Any kind of contact, and actually you can see there, Tregurtha just takes a bit of grass. Do not want to be doing that in a braking zone, that is for sure. But looks like the front 2 are going to be sorting this out on the final lap of this race. Has Ben Green just been waiting for an opportunity to make a move and waiting for the last possible opportunity, or has Nico Verdonk got the pace in that Toyota? So we're on lap number 15, coming around the final few corners here. As we look on board then with the battle for 3rd, and actually you can see here Tregurtha has made a nice little gap for himself once he got the job done. He's not really looked back here, has he? Around the final corner they come. Here we go then, final lap of the race inbound. Whew. What a race this has been. Absolutely sensational stuff here. And we're about to see the 3rd different winner in 3 races this season, which is absolutely marvellous for us sports fans at home. Across the line they come. Here we go then, final lap. As you can see then, Michael Schrey trying to make a move here on Janitz. And Janitz is going to be powerless, I think, to this one. Through the inside he goes, and he'll have a little bit of slipstream from Overhaus in front as well to work with. And the Expo then, how good are you on the brakes? We know the car is very nimble. We know it's very good under braking. Right underneath that rear wing of the BMW, is he going to be able to make a move? It's desperation time here if he wants to hang on to what would be P6. But I don't think it's quite going to work out here. As we look on board then with Tregurtha. And did the Expo make a move? No, he didn't. Not quite close enough, actually. Verdonk then 3/10 clear of Green, which is actually, ironically, the biggest gap we've had so far between those two over the last couple of laps. So they come up then towards the final few apexes here. Restart after safety car under investigation. So that's what I was thinking with Nico Verdonk, the way he was trying to warm his brakes up effectively. So yeah, interesting to see how that goes down, but we'll call it as we see it right now. Up then, down the back straight they come. Tregurtha is looking pretty good here. Ben Green not quite close enough, I don't think. He's got to go full send if he wants to make a move, that's for sure. So just coming through the final complex here. So this is probably the harshest of the braking zones here. Ben Green's just about within pouncing distance, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. Nico Verdonk, everybody's favourite Belgian for sure, especially after this performance here. He is just absolutely dominated from the front. Even though he didn't qualify at the front, he's dominated from the front. Flash of the lights, though, and Nico Verdonk is going to take the checker flag. And round number 3 of the trophy series here. Ben Green's going to finish in 2nd position. It's going to be Tregurtha then, who finishes in 3rd, and he keeps his reputation of being a podium master. We've then got Jan Zimmer in P4. Overhaus is going to finish in P5. Schrey takes 6th position. Janitz is going to be a little bit disappointed off the front row of the grid. He's only 7th. Riccitelli in 8th position. Lerner in in 9th. Stolschmidt then will round out your top 10. But let's give the camera time to the Belgian, to Nico Verdonk, the number 90. What an outstanding performance. I'm going to ask you in the chat for an unofficial driver of the race. So driver of the day, unofficial. So this is not the official vote or anything like that, but I want to see you in the YouTube chat right now. Type your favorite driver from today's race and let me know who you think is the driver of the day. And do you know what the best thing about this championship is, ladies and gentlemen? We get to do this all again tomorrow. So remember, we still have more racing action for you tomorrow. Race number 2 will be happening at exactly the same time. We've got qualifying in the morning as well. DTM Trophy never ceases to live up to the expectations. It's brilliant. We love it. So we've got here Lerner. We've got Ben Green. Verdonk. Green. Verdonk. Tregurtha. Schrey, Verdonk, for me, yeah. I think it's Nico Verdonk, really, isn't it? Yeah, Nico Verdonk will be the unofficial driver of the day, as we just have a catch here of some of the action near the end of this race. Again, under so much pressure was Verdonk, the entirety of the race. From start to finish, he managed to get up to the lead, and, well, he has dealt with a lot of pressure from Tregurtha for lap upon lap upon lap. And he's managed to deal with a lot of pressure from Ben Green as well. Great stuff. There's Tim Heinemann, then last season's champion. And we watched the restart here then. Well, you see then, Tregurtha just, he gets 5 wide almost instantly. Janet's trying to make a move then on Tregurtha. Tregurtha gets across nicely. But then Ben Green, just, yeah, reactions of an absolute cat. Goes up the inside, and that is all she wrote. From P5 up to P2 on the restart. But there is an investigation going on, so not too sure as to what that investigation will be. See if anyone went earlier than they should have done. But again, they've all got the sensors in the car to be able to figure that out, so not for us to be worried about. Madhav Singh, thank you, mate. So there is Nico Verdonk then into the pit lane, and he is going to be very chuffed indeed. And this driver did not drive every single race last season. And he showed so much promise, especially at Zolder. Didn't quite work out for him at Zolder, but he showed the promise. And well, he's now a DTM Trophy Race winner. Absolutely buzzing. There we go. Everybody's favorite Belgian. How many times are we going to see that number 90 car, though, on the top step? That remains to be seen for sure. That is a big old hug. Love that. If any of you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to type in the chat the word questions. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram with the same name as I have on YouTube. So I've just typed the word questions, @Trollvision. So if you want to find me on Twitter or indeed Instagram, you can send me some questions that way, and I can try and answer them for you. I know there's a lot of you out there that are new fans to this. There's a lot of you watching because Alex Albon is in the DTM class as well. It's great to have you on board. Racing is rating. We love racing. So there's Tregurtha. He keeps his... Yeah, keeps his podium stance in check. So good stuff from him. See, he looks a little bit disappointed, but with the restart of the car, I think he's done a stellar job to put himself in the position he's in. Jacqueline's still under investigation. No definitive answer. So there you go. There's the car that wins the race. Nico Verdonk. What a drive. He's got to be super happy with his performance, that's for sure. So while we're waiting for the official results to pop up on our screen, yep, if you've got any questions, guys, get them in now. Let's get them in now.
Second call, race 1, DTM Classic. Second call, race 1, DTM Classic.
See here, this is the initial stages of the race where Tregurtha was right up his exhaust pipe for the entirety of the first half of the race. And he dealt with it like an absolute champion. So there you go, Nico Verdonk is the winner, 25 points for him. Ben Green then 4 tenths back on 18 points. Tregurtha will get 15, Jan Zimmer will get 12, Uverhaus will get 10, 8 then for Michael Schrey, 6 for Florian Janitz. We then got Simone Riccitelli, Moritz Lerner and Philipp Stolschmidt. So again, I'm going to leave you now with the podium ceremonies. We're back tomorrow for the DTM Trophy qualifying 2 and race number 2. Hopefully you've enjoyed this broadcast. If you have, make sure you subscribe to the channel and the bookmark it if you're watching on DTM.grid. I'm going to be back with you tomorrow, so get yourselves involved in the chat. It's always good to have a chat with you, fellow race fans. But anyway, congratulations to all of our drivers on the podium, and I cannot wait for the next round tomorrow. Oh, don't put me on air. Don't put me on air. Please don't put me on air. Not yet. It's not racing yet. We're not starting yet. Team Woo. I'll be